Hey everyone, this is Oliver. I tried the law of attraction for many years and it never worked. Then I finally learned the truth of how it really works, which helped me to manifest my dream girl, manifest my dream career as an artist, selling over 200,000 worth of my art, some paintings up to 24,000. I lived an incredible life and I manifested many more cool things like traveling all the time. And now I make these videos for you guys. So even if you gave up hope, stay with me because this video will be your answer. First of all, why did you just find this video? I believe in divine timing. There are no coincidences. So that you just clicked on this video right now means that you're ready to receive the answer and finally make it work, even if you completely gave up hope. Most things that we learn about the law of attraction just don't work. And I can say that from experiences because I read tons of books, watched movies, joined courses, seminars, events. I even had personal mentors and nothing really worked till I finally got it. There is one negative force that's working against you. And as long as you're not able to identify, become aware of that negative force and change it, nothing you do is going to work. Even like the positive thinking, the affirmations, the vision board, dream books, all this fancy stuff won't work as long as this negative force is still working against you. So in this video, I will reveal to you what the negative force is and how to change it. But before I tell you what it is, let me tell you a personal story of how it impacted me, how it almost destroyed my life, and how I was able to change it so you can do the same. The first time I heard about the law of attraction was through The Secret movie. But actually, if you know how the law of attraction really works, The Secret movie can be quite dangerous for most people. First of all, it gives you hope. And that was the same thing for me. I saw the movie, I got in a hopeful state, I got excited, which is actually a good thing, but they didn't give the real secret. They didn't give all the answers. For some reason, there were missing pieces. And thanks to The Secret movie, I went on a journey to figure out how it really works so I can use it for my life and better my life and also the life of my loved ones, because I grew up in a very difficult household. My mom was an alcoholic, my father was never there, and I knew there must be a way to live a better life. I wanted to have money, I wanted to have a beautiful girlfriend, I wanted to have fun and be happy and look great, be in great physical shape. So I made it my mission to figure out how the law of attraction really works. And on one point, I did really figure out how it works. And now I can just use it. It's like a recipe that I can look at and I can use it to manifest all dreams that I have. Even if I have bigger dreams and bigger goals, I just use the same recipe to get to the next level. And I want to give you this recipe too. So there was a time where I actually wanted to become a photographer. And I wanted to start fresh because everything I tried didn't work. It was a hard time for me. And at that point I thought photography, this is it. And I had side jobs. I was working even in Burger King and I really didn't want to go back to that life. I wanted to create a better life for myself. And I had no money. I also never had really manifested big stuff. Like somehow I was hopeful that this time it could work. So I moved within Switzerland from Zurich to Basel. And there I said, I'm gonna make it happen. But as you already guessed, this negative force was in full blossom. It worked against me and I couldn't see it. So I had this hope, this hopeful state, but the negative force just kept getting bigger and bigger. So what happened is that I didn't get any clients. I actually went into debt. I couldn't talk to anyone. I was extremely shy. And I didn't know why, because I really wanted that. I wanted to have a successful career as a photographer. I wanted to make money and I thought it cannot be that hard. Other people are doing it too. Why can it not work for me? And on one point it got so bad because literally nothing worked out. I made zero money and I even needed to go out of my apartment, couldn't find another apartment. Luckily I had good friends. They gave me an apartment for a few months, but even after that I didn't find an apartment. So the last day when I needed to move out of the final apartment, I still didn't have one. I went to a shooting and on that shooting, there was another photographer and he actually gave me an apartment for free. That was like the universe having my back. And I believe in that anyways. The universe always has your back. No matter how hard it is for you right now, the universe always has your back. I truly believe in that. And that was the case for me. The universe had my back. And then I went into this apartment. It was completely empty. No one was living there. There was no furniture, no bed. So I was sleeping on the floor for several months and I just didn't give up. You know, sometimes giving up can be a good thing. Giving up of resistance, giving up of something that doesn't work can be a good thing. I didn't want to give up. I wanted to still make it happen. But I just wasn't aware of what's working against me, right? I did the affirmations. I was reading books. I was doing affirmations. I was even meditating. I did cold showers, all the stuff that they said you should do. I had my morning routine, but it still didn't work. So I was sleeping in this apartment. And on one point, it was the middle of the night. It was like 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. And I felt really bad. I started feeling really nervous. And just inside of myself, I didn't feel good. So at one point, I decided to go for a walk. When I went for that walk, I saw a really strange lady walking around, and we were the only people outside. There was nobody else. Because in Switzerland, if you know Switzerland, everything is closed at like 8 p.m. There's nothing open, right? And there was like 12 or 1 a.m. So I saw this strange lady in front of me, and I walk this direction and she walks this direction. And then we go like this, and I didn't really look at her because it looked really strange. I was a bit scared, but didn't think much of it. Then she suddenly turned and walked into my direction. I got extremely scared. And I started walking faster because she literally walked after me, and her head was down. She wasn't looking straight, she was looking on the floor, but walking into my direction. And my heart started beating, and I just really got scared. It was really, really strange. And I kept walking faster and faster, but I didn't want to run because that would be super weird. And at one point I looked back and I couldn't see her anymore. She was gone. And I was really relieved. I felt like, she's gone, whatever that was. And to be honest, I thought it's a demon. I really thought it's a demon because it looked so strange. And I still believed at that point it's a demon. And so I just, kept on with my walk. And on one point I come across a bridge. And it's a long bridge, and there were still no people. It was night, it was dark, everything was dark. And then I just walk over the bridge, and suddenly I see a person on the other side of the bridge. And I'm like, I get a bit scared, right? Because I'm like, who is that? It's dark, I cannot really see who that is. And then on one point, I keep walking, and suddenly this person comes closer and closer. And then at one point I see this is again this person, this demon, this very scary looking person. And my heart started really beating faster than ever. And I started getting really, really scared. And we walked closer and closer and closer. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to walk back. I didn't want to run away. I had no idea what to do. And suddenly we cross and nothing happened. I went back home and I felt really confused. Because I swear I thought this is a demon. At home, I was just sitting on the floor and questioning everything. I'm like, what just happened? What was all of this? What was this inside of me, this fear? Why was I so scared? Why did I see this woman? Because in the end, nothing happened. It probably was just like a homeless person. And then it suddenly made click, and I realized that this was my creation. This demon that I saw was my own creation. It was me. I created such a downfall. I went so much into the negativity that I literally created this scenario where I thought a real demon is chasing me. And it felt so real. It was, in the end of the day, it wasn't real, but it felt so real. I was so scared of my life. My heart was beating. And at that point I decided I need to change. I need to start thinking more positive. I need not just thinking positive. I need to completely change. I need to stop giving this negative and dark force energy. And what is this dark force? This negative force that's holding you back? It's you. It's you. It's your mind. It's how deep you go down, how deep you let yourself go. There's something we call the lowest standard. My lowest standard was extremely low. So low that I thought that this is a demon that's chasing me. And my whole life was like this. My whole life was clouded with this negative energy that I created myself. And at that point, I decided to make a change. And literally, because it was like a switch. It wasn't just like a wish, or I'm telling myself I need to think more positive, or I need to do some affirmation, or I should make more money. No, it was like, this was enough. Enough is enough. And then the next morning when I woke up, I started with gratitude. I did half an hour gratitude meditation from Louis Hay. And then immediately I started changing one thing after the next. I got a job because I knew that I cannot immediately change everything all at once. I have to build myself up. I have to build up my confidence, because also my confidence was so low. And I needed to accept myself. I needed to accept where I'm at, how I was feeling, what I created already. Acceptance is one of the most important things, because as long as you're not accepting where you're at currently, nothing is going to change. You cannot resist your current situation and expect change. Cannot work. So I needed to make peace with this situation. I needed to make peace with everything that I created, the debt that I created, the situation, the living environment, that I failed with my business, that I wanted to make successful. I needed to accept and make peace with it. And that's when I could start changing things. So long story short, I started changing one thing after the next. But after I accepted and made peace with my situation, that's when affirmations and gratitude started working, because I became humble. I emptied my cup. Instead of thinking I already know, because I thought I already know it all. I already know the law of attraction, but I actually didn't know it because I didn't embody it. To know and not to do is not to know. You need to remember that sentence, this quote. It's so true, but sometimes we forget. So I needed to empty this cup of like, I know already, because at that point I realized I don't know anything. And I started fresh. Went back to my mom. I started painting for my self-healing, and the painting really helped me to create a more like safe space for myself. And everything shifted. And then I started selling art and things. I became more positive. I started feeling better. Feeling is the secret. If you want to make it work, you need to feel better. Focus on feeling better. No matter what you need to do. If you have more questions, post a comment, ask me questions. Come to my school community because I want to help you. Book a one-to-one call because I know you can get out of this situation. If you accept, make peace with your situation, become humble and start where you're at, you can do it. I believe in you. Thank you for listening and see you next time.